Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you. Doing well. And you, Tizzle, and I hope everyone is doing well. Who do I got on the screen there? I've never heard of this guy before. Talk about the... It appears they've gotten to him. And as slow as they are, 14 years... How long ago this happened, I don't know. We're going to talk about a lot of things that are developing, a lot of fraud that's being uncovered, and a lot of fraud that is just under the surface and got many people very nervous. But anyway, what do I do? What do I do while we're waiting for people to get into the chats to get themselves a cold beer? But you might want something else, a glass of wine, whatever you want. And come on in, shake off your skin, and rattle around in your bones. Who remembers where I got that from? But anyway, I'll play a few videos while people come into the chats.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald.
It was an illegal investigation. It was started illegally. Everything about it was crooked. Every single thing about it. There were dirty cops. These were bad people. You look at McCabe and Comey, and you look at Lisa and Peter Strzok. These were bad people. And this was an attempted coup. This was an attempted takedown of a president. And we beat them. We beat them. So the Mueller report, when they talk about obstruction, we fight back. And you know why we fight back? Because I knew how illegal this whole thing was. It was a scam. And what I'm most interested in, what I'm most interested in is getting started. Hopefully the Attorney General, he mentioned it yesterday, he's doing a great job getting started on going back to the origins of exactly where this all started. Because this was an illegal witch hunt, and everybody knew it. And they...
Joe got $3.5 million from Russia. And it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow, and it was the mayor of Moscow's wife. And you got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million. And, you know, someday you're going to have to explain, why did you get 3.5? I never got any money from Russia. I don't get money from Russia.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. I have not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever. My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China. I have not had, the only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one.
The murder of Charlie Kirk was not a political act. The murder of Charlie Kirk was not.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass? Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic?
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off. Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists. I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement
of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thanks for joining me tonight. How is everyone? I hope you're doing well. Who is this guy? 14 years. Man, that's a long time. You think Trump will pardon him? Crazier things have happened, but, will he sing like a bird? I don't know. We shall see. Darla, nice to see you. Sissy, Randy, Sherry. What? Ooh, where's my chats going? They jump around on me. Nice to see you, Todd. Wayne, thank you so much, Wayne, for going by. Buy me a coffee. I do appreciate it very much. And also, this is a new week we're going into, and Gary stopped by and Mike and Bev earlier today. So, yeah, that's good. I don't have to worry about not even close to getting skunked. And last week, Norm and Miss Mendersu jumped in to really finish up the week good. I appreciate that. So anyway, and also, thumbs up. Wayne's saying give thumbs up. So, yeah, you do that for me. Helps the video get around. Even if you're not watching live, after the live, give me a thumbs up. Hey, hi, Elva. How you doing? And nice to see you. We got Debbie here. Anthrax. Nice to see you. Hebrew Hammer. Nice to see you. Rebecca. Sissy. Let's see. Who am I missing? I got that small print again. I wish I could go back to the other way. Yeah, how you doing? Let's see. And KNS Cleanup, nice to see you. How many Debbies do we have? Let's see. Graybeard, nice to see you. Andrew's here. All right. Let's see. Okay, everybody's rolling in. Bill's here. All right. Well, let's, I just, I don't want to have a blank screen. I'm surprised. I mean, how long are we talking about for campaign contributions to Obama? I haven't heard about this case. Have you all heard about this case? How do you say that name? Fugees? I don't know how you say his name. He doesn't look very happy. But Grammy-winning rapper, I don't know what the hell his name is, Praz Michael of the Fugees, was sentenced on Thursday to 14 years in prison for a case in which he was convicted of illegally funneling millions of dollars in foreign contributions. No wonder we haven't heard about it. To former President Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? In 2012, his re-election campaign. So we're talking, how many years did it take to get to justice here? Oh, my word. 10 years would have been 22, and then we're at 13 years since he committed it. Fugees. Anthrax says it's the Fugees. Well, No wonder we haven't heard about it. But we are hearing about foreign money. Let's see, what else do I want on the screen? In the here and now, like Tim Walsh's cabal there is getting creamed. What, they had about 70 arrests in Minnesota? A variety of things, campaign nonsense, and messing around with COVID money, and who knows what they've been doing. But we're not hearing much about that being reported. But we did hear Donald Trump come out, and I'll read his post about the situation in Somalia. The Somalians we have, they got to go. Pack up your hush puppies and hit the road. I showed you one where the woman, they had a suspect picture of her, and she was wearing head to toe hijab. All you could see was fabric, where she blinded her child. Remember that? That was just a couple of days ago. Oh, I'm sure Diddy's singing. Trump ain't going to give him something for nothing. He's going to come up off of some stuff. But anyway, Trump was firing off truths. And the peace deal in Ukraine is getting close. Now, I want to show you all something. I know you can't read that. I can't read it either. But who is this person? What is he doing? Oh. Ukrainian Air Force soldiers on the internet are threatening Zelensky if he signs the Trump peace plan. If you sign it, you're effed. You're just effed. If the cardboard protest wasn't a warning for you and you think they'll come out with cardboard signs again, you're effed. Oh, how effed you are. I can already see it, damn it. And the country is effed too, but you're effed as well. So, if the rank and file's doing it, you know the officers are doing it. But there's more nuance to it. One of the things in the peace proposal is that all Yahtzees got to go, and that ideology has to be condemned and removed from all aspects of the government and society. Okay, that's in the peace plan. So that is something to think about. At the same time, what happened yesterday, Bolsonaro is in federal prison. Brazilian President Bolsonaro's ex-president Jair Bolsonaro tried to open his ankle monitor with a soldering iron they accuse him of in an escape attempt, court documents allege. Well, I bookended these two stories because I told you all about how I was a little bit perturbed, because the other night when I first mentioned this peace plan, I said peace will happen in my thumbnail. Nobody else was talking about it. I said peace was coming, and I described what I've been reading in foreign media sources, that there was action going on, and Zelensky was being told, and Trump pretty much confirmed it. You either make peace or you're on your own, pal. Like Trump said, he can fight his little heart out if he doesn't want to work with us. So, interrupted or buffering, and then finally, I couldn't even play videos. And come to find out, I'd had some manner of dump, okay, in my uploads of a picture of Bolsonaro's head. I told you all, didn't I? His head in a net hanging from a tree, and his head on a soccer field with somebody's foot on top of it like it was a soccer ball. And picture after picture of Ukraine officials, generals, people sitting looking all official at their desks with Ukrainian flags, with nameplates, and combat footage, just kind of overwhelming my uploads. And I had to, I thought, well, maybe I should save some of these pictures, to show who are these people they're putting in. But anyway, I was uncomfortable, remember? A little message. And so that lets me know that there's some shadow business going on, especially with the numbers of viewers, the suppression and things like that. There are more people tuning in than, or certain people are turning in. That's for sure. But do you all remember that? Now, isn't that funny that within 48, 72 hours, this news comes out about Bolsonaro's and Ukrizzle. Well, I say that because we weren't able to say Ukraine in the past YouTube configuration. You all remember that? But now we are. Here is a little short video. I think it's got music in it, and it'll probably block me in videos in the eastern part of Europe. I don't know. But this is the video that they're putting out from Ruski media about Zelensky getting ready to do his peace deal, right? Will he or won't he? Looks to me like they're getting the money together to get ready to leave. They're getting their cash together to put an egg in their shoe and beat it. Right? Pivotal moment. New York Post. Zelensky vows he won't betray Ukraine. Oh. But he's made other statements to the contrary. So we'll get into that. And we'll get into the seditious 6. Seditious 6. Well, there's one that might get a wiggle out of it. So, but I'll say seditious 6. See you, the other Debbie. Ha, Robin, nice to see you. Miss Mendersu. Yeah, he's got a house. He's coked up all right, but he's got a house. He's got King Charles, his former childhood home. He's already settled on it. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you. So, yeah, a lot of people are getting fired. Okay. And corruption investigations opening up in Ukraine. What could that be? What could that all be about? Cleaning house and words. The word's going to get out about who was doing what, as far as defrauding the people of Ukraine. And my studio isn't moving correctly, so there we go. There, it finally moved. But anyway, let's see what some of these some of these things Trump put out. I want to put this up for a while. This is so true. Che Guevara, because we got that little commie in New York. Che Guevara swore to end capitalism, and capitalism took his picture, printed it on T-shirts, and sold it to idiots. Yeah, kind of like what they're doing with Mom Dami. The idiot crowd. So Trump reposted a lot of things other people had put up. One of the ones that was the most eye-catching was, I used part of it for my thumbnail. None shall escape justice. And we're into 9 months already. And the government is paralyzed because of the filibuster. And what Trump is saying is exactly true. If the Republicans don't get rid, Democrats will do is get rid of it if they got a 1-vote majority in the House. And the first thing they'll do is try to impeach Trump. And they will stonewall every legislative move we need to do, we have to do for this republic to survive. We have to get rid of the filibuster. We have to get rid of the blue slips for judges so we don't have these judges that shouldn't even have a residency card, a green card, much less being on the federal bench. That they are going to come at all of us, not just Trump, but all of us with a vengeance. And they will get rid of the filibuster. And we know that the Democrats walk in lockstep, okay? So anyway, let's see what some of these things are Trump was putting out. This is where I got the picture from. Trump posted it right here. Donald J. Trump, Great Uncle Rom, said, "None shall escape his justice." And this is a picture with some creepy little Democrats and seditious individuals there at the bottom. One of them Schiff, isn't it? Who are those three at the bottom? I'm sure he put up. Let's see. We got a big one here. The war between Russia and Ukraine is a violent and terrible one that, with strong and proper U.S. and Ukrainian leadership, should have never happened. It began long before I took office for a second term. During the Sleepy Joe Biden election was not rigged and stolen. The only thing the radical left Democrats are good at doing. There would be no Ukraine-Russia war, as there wasn't not even a mention during my first term in office. Putin would never have attacked. It was only when he saw Sleepy Joe in action, he said, "Now is my chance." The rest is history, and so continues. I inherited a war that should have never happened, a war that is a loser for everyone, especially the millions of people that have so needlessly died. Ukraine leadership has expressed zero gratitude for our efforts, and Europe continues to buy oil from Russia. The USA continues to sell massive amounts of weapons to NATO for distribution to Ukraine. Crooked Joe gave everything free, including big money. God bless all. The lives have been lost in the human catastrophe. He can fight his little heart out if he wants to keep it up. Putin put out a statement that it's a criminal government. I'll post that in a second. Viktor Orban, liken them to the mafia. That was all yesterday and today. The Republican Party has never been so united as it is now. Other than Rand Paul Jr., Massey, Marjorie Trader Brown, and you all know what that's about. Brown grass when it dies off, and a couple of other lowlifes. And other than the fact that many want the election-threatening filibuster terminated, the Dems will do it the first minute of their first chance, and some don't. There is great spirit and cohesion. Plus, the Republican Party is much bigger than it was when I announced in 2015 or ever was before. Many millions more members. We now have the strongest border ever. Biggest tax cuts, best economy. More. But the best is yet to come. Vote Republican. If they got rid of that filibuster, we could rock and roll with voter ID. No mail-in voting. That's the key, folks. That's the key. Because there's so many things that have happened in the last 20 years that no way in hell the majority. Now, this is Trump responding to something Newsmax considering some protocols, I guess you'd call them, that would expand the reach of some of these ABC, NBC, the big networks. And Trump's response to it, if this would allow also, they want to expand Newsmax's reach, they claim. If this would also allow the radical left networks to enlarge, I would not be happy. ABC and NBC in particular, virtual arm of the Democrat Party. They should be viewed as an illegal campaign to the radical left. I was talking about that the other day. No expansion of the fake news networks. If anything, make them smaller, President DJT. Illegal psychological warfare campaigns. That's what they're engaged in. And also illegal contributions to the Democrat Party, being their mouthpiece. And I'm going through these things that Trump put up because a lot of times I'll go through broadcasts, I'll go on a tangent, and I hadn't read them. You know, I'm like, oh, holy cow, I should have said something about that. But redundancy, right? That's what it takes to get into people's heads what's going on. And I'm hoping there are some people that are watching these broadcasts that aren't up to date as the folks that show up in the chats all the time, that they'll pull something out of it. So like I say, you all may say, oh, well, we heard this. Well, we got to make sure it gets out to Trump is as redundant as he can possibly be to pound it into people's heads. Let's see. The traitors that told the military, this is all caps, to disobey my orders should be in jail right now. Not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Hi, Christina. Yeah, there can be no other interpretation. I got a video of Scott Jennings talking to somebody, and you know, also, but at some point you gotta get down brass tacks. They knew damn good and well what they were doing, and I think that can be proved. That can be proved that what they did, they knowingly were injecting dysentery in the ranks. So I'll talk about that some more in a second. After I go over some more of Mr. T's posts. What do we have here? Oh, I could have put this up last week. Elon Musk saying, I'd like to thank President Trump for all he's done for America and the world. Talk about healing a rift. And that's why I read your all's comments after the broadcast. And somebody was mentioning about, Marjorie Taylor Greene's good points. And she did yeoman's work getting Trump elected. There's no doubt about that. There's a rift, obviously, between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Well, there was a rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Now, what do you see? There was a rift between Marco Rubio and Donald Trump. Now, what do you see? There was a rift between J.D. Vance. Between Ron DeSantis. The only one I really think is maintaining a rift is Rand Paul. And Massey has never been. I don't know how the hell Massey's got into where he's at. So keep that in mind, folks. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I don't talk bad about her. I don't think you all would say that I talk bad about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I discuss realities. And the reality is that her polling numbers were bad before this bubbled up to the surface. She was not focusing on some of these really what I consider to be earth-shaking things. These Supreme Court decisions that these radical judges that were one by one exposing and showing how they're harming our system, where these people come from. Those are the things that should be talked about. Who are these people? Where are they coming from? Those are things to keep focus on. But she's losing her focus. She was losing her focus. With a singular issue, namely Epstein situation, which has backfired, but we knew that would happen. But the other thing, she is a reality that just is not a good look, is going from a $700,000 net worth to a 25 million net worth in 48 months? Because she's going to retire in January at a 5-year mark where she gets a lifetime retirement, which is people are going to pick on her for that. I would wait. You'd be foolish not to do it. But she had those millions before this rift started. People knew about it. And then stories coming out about the George Soros money. So those are realities that are a bad look. And what are you going to do? Trump can't take every panic, frantic call. He can't wave a wand and make those things go out of the public's mind. So anyway, Trump put this up. MAGA voice breaking: Elon Musk just told his 229 million followers that he wants to thank Donald Trump for everything he's done for the world. Such an epic moment for America. We are so back. And that's the thing Trump was saying. I don't want stuff taking away from our progress. I don't want people to focus on these negative things and not realize the momentous happenings that are going on. So maybe it was the thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it may be op. People have mentioned that that it could be like the DeSantis Trump for them to eventually reconcile. And part of the reason may be because she is really weak with her own poll numbers for reasons that are out of Donald Trump's control. He can't help that she got that 25 million. He can't help that she got involved with some source link bunch. He can't help that she had an affair while she was married. I'm not saying anything but reality that affects popularity and affects your ability to win an election. So it might have been just a way to get a new player in so we don't lose her seat to a Democrat. See what I'm saying? She can't fix these things. The scrutiny is only going to get greater between now and election time. So this might be a mutual agreement to have this little falling out, have the Epstein files exposed, allow enough time to have a solid Republican get in there without the $25 million baggage and all the other baggage I mentioned, and we can retain that seat. Do I make sense to you all? Does that make sense to you all? So, on an aside, remember I was talking about he said some things in the past that I said might be relevant in the future. One of them being $6 million that came up missing, and nobody said nothing about it. He ended up doing 10 years in jail, but in his assets, when they were seizing his assets, $6 million disappeared. And James Comey was involved with the FBI then. Francis mentioned it, as a matter of fact. But one other thing he said was he was talking about Jimmy Hoffa. He said he knew where Jimmy Hoffa, who offed Jimmy Hoffa. And he said, where he is, all I can tell you is where he is somewhere very wet. You know, when they were asking him, well, did they bury him at Giants Stadium or whatever? Well, I saw this article where they found this working on, was in Brooklyn, the piers down there, or the docks in Brooklyn. They were, I guess the bulkhead was made out of cement, and they were having problems with the bulkhead, and they jackhammered out possible human skull found encased in concrete. It might not be Jimmy Hoffa. You know, it's the first thing people were saying in the comments. Hoffa, Jimmy Hoffa. You know, there's so many people ended up in concrete over the years in those areas. But, yeah, you never take out larger sections and see if there's more material there. And what's this? Oh, this is a sign up at the on the pier. Sign on the pier for all the workers. See something, say something. Always be alert. Report suspicious activity. Well, somebody saw something, all right. Somebody's gored, and I don't know how much of it, what they'll recover, but it's something there just to remember, because when they go to this extent, it's not just anybody they're getting rid of. Okay, when they get them, when they go to this extent. So we shall see. Will that be a mystery that's been solved after all these years? Or with DNA, you know, they may find out it's some other high-profile missing person. Yeah, graybeard, a lot of concrete, a lot of them was shoes, you know, and they quit doing that. They quit doing the shoes. Too many of them pop up out of the water after a while. But anyway, let's see, what else was Mr. T talking about today? Let's see. Here we got this one. Holy crap. Donald Trump saw fit to boast this. By Nick Sortor. He posted this yesterday while I didn't broadcast yesterday. But I played this video about Jim Comer. We've got Hakeem Jeffries and also what's her face? Oh my gosh. Kamala Harris involved with Epstein. All the names are going to be trickling out. James Comer just exposed Hakeem Jeffries on the House floor soliciting a meeting. After Epstein was convicted as a predator. This Epstein thing going to backfire massively on the Democrats. Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event to meet privately with Brooklyn Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So, yeah, they let the texts out too. They released the texts. So that you know, firms up my notion that this gave Marjorie Taylor Greene an excuse to go ahead and back out of a seat that she was in a tenuous position anyway. Give her an excuse so we could put somebody in stronger, save that seat from being lost, and at the same time have make the Democrats demand the release of this, that they can't get out of it now. I mean, we're talking, you know, top of the line psyops people are engaging in here. They got two birds with one stone, I think. Here's something Trump put up about the Epstein thing. What the heck is going on here? Come on. Patriots. I can't read that. In 2016, Larry Summers called Trump the gravest threat to America in his adult lifetime. Fast forward to today, and he's apologizing to his class for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is it that all of Epstein's friends were so scared of a Trump presidency? And I went ahead and got I played the one of him at the college. But this is the one at the college, but it's also him saying Trump is a threat. And that Mockingbird unified scare talk about Trump has really damaged this country. But anyway, this is Larry Summers.
I think the prospect of Donald Trump being president would be the gravest threat to our prosperity in my adult lifetime. Wow. So that's the thing I would worry most about.
Some of you will have seen my statement of regret, expressing my shame with respect to what I did in communication with Mr. Epstein, and that I've said that I'm going to step back from public activities for a time, but I think it's very important to fulfill my teaching obligations. And so, with your permission, we're going to go forward and talk about the material in the class.
Yeah, so he's had to resign and go into hiding. He's eating crow, and he is chewing his fingernails for what's going to be coming out. Nobody walks away from this, right, folks? I don't remember doing. Let's see what this says. Come on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Nigeria. This was the other day. I didn't get to play it. More Christians being persecuted.
So let's get straight to that Fox News alert out of Nigeria. Gunmen early this morning reportedly kidnapping 52 students from a Catholic school, adding to the urgency of President Trump's fight to end Christian persecution.
Our senior foreign affairs correspondent, Greg Palcott, joins us now with the details. Greg, what do you know?
Hey, folks. Yeah, amazing. Another story coming out of Nigeria. More violence there. Christians definitely under fire. A Catholic secondary school in the town of Agwara, that's in the northwestern part of Nigeria, was attacked by gunmen early this morning about 1 a.m. local time. Local media now says that 52 school children aged 12 to 17 were kidnapped. A desperate search is now on, involving military and police. This comes after a Catholic church nearby was attacked earlier this week. 2 people were killed and 38 worshipers were abducted. A ransom of $69,000 per person has been demanded. Some to speak of a Christian genocide there. President Trump has branded Nigeria a country of particular concern regarding religious freedom, threatening to cut off aid, threatening to send in U.S. troops. Still, other analysts note Muslims are getting hurt in the country too, not just by Islamist terrorists, but organized bandits, crooks, professional militants. 25 children were kidnapped at yet another school in western Nigeria on Monday. One escaped. That happened in a mostly Muslim area.
Trump said he would go in there guns a-blazing. Guns a-blazing is what he said. Here, let me put this on the screen for a little bit. There we go. Attention. It's your duty as an American to report all invaders to ICE. I think I'll leave that up for a little bit. Hi, Sparky. Yeah, Christina, your page is black. Try to refresh your screen or go out of Utizzle and come back in and give me a thumbs up when you... Just like Kim said, give me a thumbs up. Wayne, everybody saying, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, Kim, that's a very corrupt area. Savage. Some people don't care for me talking like that, but facts are facts. Facts are facts. Oh, yeah, I got that video too of Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley won an award for his coverage. He should win an award for it. But man, he takes some chances. I hope nothing happens to him. But anyway, here's who's reporting here. Newsmax. You know, they're not really being fair with Trump. But here's what they report. It's great. President Trump, whose relationship with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene became frayed in the past month, responded favorably to MTG's announcement she would resign her seat. But he's wished her well and said some kind things. You all decide for yourself if it was an op to achieve those 2 goals I just discussed. So anyway, let's see what the next thing he put up was. Oh. All right. Okay. I'm going to put this up. Whoops. Come on back on the screen. There we go. Expand. Thank you to Greg Kelly of Newsmax for this wonderful piece on sedition. A must watch. Well, if he says we must watch it, must we? You want me to play it for you? Hi, Yvonne. Nice to see you. I will interject from time to time because I have mentioned recently, but many times in the past, about mens res, actus reus, your action and then the meaning behind your action. And that's what they use to determine levels of punishment, especially with military tribunals. The meaning of your action, and I hope they get into it in the future, but I don't think they do very much. Something. This is exactly, when you click on Truth Social, this is exactly what you see. I didn't take anything out of the back part, anything out of the front part, nothing out of the middle. I think you might be surprised when you see how this starts.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Words, their actions did get President.
Now, how many times have you all seen me play that video? That exact same clip. Hi, Melvita, how are you doing? Is it working now, Christina? Oh, it's just try to come back in. But how many times have you seen me play that clip, folks? Is somebody watching? I think so.
President Trump shot in 2024. Shot. Almost killed. A man was murdered. So much we don't know, right? I know this. The rhetoric that the swamp is engaged in and their activities, they want him dead all over again. What we saw from those Democrat Congress people in that disgusting video where they are calling for insubordination, that is my read on it. They're calling for military and intelligence and basically deep state revolution against President Trump. It's not going to work. President Trump took the oath that they all brag about. President Trump took the oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. He did on Inauguration Day, and he will do it. You know, everybody who brags about taking the oath, if you actually understand the Constitution, ultimately, if they work for the federal government, their ultimate job is to assist him, the executive branch, the people in the military, to ultimately to assist him and to carry out his orders. Now, what we saw was, I thought, an open call for sedition. We'll get into that later, but you saw how President Trump reacted strongly and appropriately to what those Democrats said. This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up? Question mark. President Donald John Trump. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. He is pointing out in that Constitution, a brag about that this is the penalty for treason.
Sedition. We're allowed.
Now, it's just what I was saying. He did not call for them to be put to death. He just said what was in the Constitution. A fact. There's no name. Truth that he posted. It did not say it happened, should happen to them. But he's given the rank and file warning, don't listen to these idiots and get yourself in trouble, which he has every right to address the rank and file and his subordinate officers. But what needs to be focused on, and I believe it is being focused on, is the lead up to this video. For years, they have all participated in this mockingbird slander to delegitimize Trump. And this is their clarion call to try to cash in on that messaging that Trump is illegitimate and Trump defies court orders. They keep saying that, and he's not defied any of those, any court orders. He goes through appeals, and he goes to the bitter end through our legal process. But you ask many people, does Trump defy court orders? Oh, yeah, he does all the time. He's always defying court orders, which is not true at all. And they're aware of that. So if they can show that they're participating in this psyop, in people's minds that Trump is behaving illegitimately, and then do this video to try to inject dysentery in the ranks and encourage ignoramuses, of which there's many. They could take it upon themselves to try to do something to Trump or a member of his cabinet, or actually defy a lawful order when other people could get hurt. But anyway, let me go ahead and play it. So yeah, they do belong in jail right now.
Allowed to do it, and what they are encouraging the military to do. And if anybody in the military listens, our fine men and women in uniform, and we have what, 1 million? I think 2 million plus the reserves. How many will listen to these members of Congress as they boast and brag about how important they are, where they come from, the military, the intelligence community? This is Senator Mark Kelly, somebody I actually briefly admired years ago. The man is without scruples, without morals. I am sorry. His words, and now what he's saying about what President Trump said. President Trump points out sedition is punishable by death. It's interesting, his reaction. It's actually fascinating, and it's incriminating. Watch.
Hey, folks. Donald Trump called for my execution.
No, he didn't, actually. He just pointed out that the penalty for sedition is death. It seems that he's pleading guilty to sedition, punishable by death. Sedition is. So, Mark Kelly, another bizarre. These people, they're killing themselves on social media. They all want to be like Trump. They don't know how to do it. Next, please.
Now, I served 25 years in the United States Navy. I flew 39 combat missions. I flew into space 4 times.
And nobody cares. Nobody should care. The days of being impressed with that kind of stuff, what have you done for us lately? That's good for your resume. That's good for you to get what you want. I'm sorry, the swamp did this to themselves. After they dragged those phony Capitol Hill cops in front of Congress, after Colonel Vindman and General Milley, I see a uniform. I hope for the best, you know. In theory, I support service. I admire service, but I can't trust them. Don't be blinded by the uniform or the brass anymore. Nobody should. Next.
Never once did I expect that at some point the President of the United States was going to threaten me with being hanged because of something I said.
Something I said. You just said something, right? This is just a freedom of speech issue. Again, he says sedition is punishable by death. You're deep down, you know what you're doing is seditious. Not that deep down. It is. It is. And, you know, for something one said, didn't you guys lock up President Trump, impeach President Trump for his words peacefully and patriotically, huh? You guys impeached him and tried to throw him in jail because of words that weren't illegal. What you guys are doing, that's illegal. I'll get to what the original offense, but more from this Kelly guy playing the victim right now.
Folks, we have a Constitution. We have First Amendment constitutional rights of free speech. I know a little bit about political violence. My wife, Gabby, was nearly assassinated. She was shot in the head because of political violence. She nearly died.
I am sick of the bragging. Everybody's become a braggart about their experiences. If their experience is somehow more important than your experience or my experience, don't play that. It's not going to work anymore. And what happened to Gabby Gifford in 2010, I'm sorry. We're in a different place right now.
She's better. That's great.
Well, he should even be more understanding and sensitive about insightful language if you're going to throw that up in the air about Gabby Gifford. You should know better. Was he involved in the suckers and losers hoax? Did he come up with that or promulgate that Trump said that? I bet you they're going to find every statement that he said about Trump. Every insightful statement he said about Trump. But right here, he is all should know the dangerous effects of inciting people, yet he did it anyway.
It's irrelevant. He mentions the Constitution. This is getting very, very evil. And they're hiding behind the Constitution. The Constitution's great. But they're deliberately misrepresenting it and using it for corrupt ends. Next.
Just this week, he did this. Threatened our lives, said we should be hanged because of something we said. This is dangerous.
All right. So let's get back to what they said. And it wasn't just something they said. You can actually get in serious trouble for saying things if you tell people to rebel against a sitting president of the United States. This man and his Democrat colleagues, right, each with deep state roots. We're supposed to trust them more because each one was in the Navy or the Central Intelligence Agency. Hey, we trust you less, okay, if you are in the CIA, the deep state. We don't like you guys anymore. We should not trust you based on what you've done. And right here, this is sedition.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk. This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
This is firing up people, all right? This is getting people agitated, nervous, people in the military. And they've heard this about President Trump before from the fake news. And what do they call for?
Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
The people in the military already know about illegal orders, all right? They learn about them. They learn about My Lai, the My Lai massacre, what happened there, right? This is not happening in today's military. But what you're encouraging these troops to do, to question their superiors, a lot of them, it's not their job to evaluate the Constitution. It's not. It sounds righteous. And what happens when, on their own judgment, they start disregarding orders? We're authority here, that they have some sort of cushion for these guys. They don't.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be critical.
and know that we have your back.
What does that mean? She's kind of saying that, like, this is, we are going to take care of you. You work for us. That's not true. They shouldn't be talking to the military. I mean, is this unofficial or official? It looks awfully official. They identify themselves as members of Congress, and they're telling them something to do. The only occasion they should be talking to members of the military is in congressional hearings, and those are scheduled, right? We have a forum for this kind of give and take. But for the members of Congress to go around the civilian and uniformed leadership of the Pentagon to tell the military to disregard orders, to evaluate orders as to their legality when they're playing with fire. President Trump already got shot. They want it to happen again. They want something worse to happen again. This is not over, everybody. These people committed the crime, and let's see where this goes.
Yeah, they committed a crime, and I'm sure it will happen. Is happening right now. They're probably dotting their I's and crossing their T's because this can't go unpunished. There's too much that has gone on unpunished already. We have to go back, just like they did with that rapper, 14 years for helping Obama with foreign money in 2012. Okay? Justice will get to them. But something this monumental, they have got to really watch their P's and Q's, but they will do it. They will do it. I believe they will be arrested. I can't say when. But because optics mean a lot. Optics mean a lot. And that was funny. We have your back. Yeah. Ha. They wouldn't do it. What would they do? How are you going to protect somebody who makes an idiot of themselves, destroys their career, puts their freedom in jeopardy because they listen to your dumb ass? What are you going to do? How are you going to have their back? But 90% of the military knows that there's an order from the commander-in-chief. It goes through the Joint Chiefs of Staff, right through generals, right through full bird colonels, on down the line, right down to old the gunny sarge sitting there barking in your face. Okay? And you think you're going to know more than them? You're going to know more than the Joint Chiefs of Staff? You're going to know more than the general? You're going to know more than a full bird colonel? So most of them have enough common sense to know that. And I don't know about the timing, but it's got to happen. It's got to happen. And they can reactivate. Some of these people can be reactivated and have post-service discipline. They can go through courts martial. They can have some of their awards, as they call them, taken away. Absolutely. Let's see. Here's something else Trump posted or reposted. Wait a minute. Oh, no, this is Andrew Branca posted this. I was watching, refreshing some of my stories about that I lived through. Most of everybody in the chats have lived through what some of these spies like Aldrich Ames and Walker, right, in the Navy, and Hansen. These are all spy names. People that were spying for years, taking money, doing it mostly for greed, that caused people to lose their lives. And they get 20-year sentences, they get life sentences, or whatever. We haven't X3 anybody since the Rosenbergs. Right? What the hell's going on? Some of these people should have never. I know that sometimes you get more information, or you can use them as a prisoner swap, like they did with Gary Powers, the pilot Gary Powers, back in the 1960s, early 1960s. But no, for the most part, espionage and treason, they need to hang. But anyway, this post, Will Turnford up. If you just hang criminals, this doesn't happen. Europe became the greatest civilization ever seen by hanging criminals for centuries, executing 1 to 2% of each generation. What have I always said? I said, anytime you get a population, I don't care if it's somebody in the armed forces, I don't care if it's somebody in the police force, I don't care if it's whatever it is, you're going to have, I called it my 1% rule. You're going to have 1% of people that got a big problem. And if you got 100,000 men in an army, what's 1% of 100,000? That you can bet are going to be a problem, a serious problem. That's 1,000 people. So anyway, executing 1 to 2% of each population until doing such became unnecessary because the crime genes had been weeded out. As a result, they could focus on empire building and high civilization rather than forever paying EBT dangled to a hostile and irrationally violent underclass. That was the response to this post by Landshark. It is genuinely crazy that there's basically zero downsides to executing violent criminals. And if you just keep doing it again and again, society eventually turns into paradise. But we can't actually do it because leftists still control all the governments and legal systems. Well, some people say that's a harsh take, that I have harsh takes. But like to say, well, there's children involved. What about the children? When they're talking about mercy and always having mercy. Look, the parents came here illegally. Yes, but they have children. Whatever excuse they play on people's sympathy. They don't give a damn about children when it comes to the dumpster behind Planned Parenthood. But, and they need to learn that there were children at Sodom and Gomorrah. There were children when the Second Temple fell. There were children when the walls of Jericho came tumbling down. There were children on the face of the earth when Noah built his ark. So, like my dad used to say, you can find sympathy in the dictionary right between SH and that's it and sympathy. Oh, no, and syphilis. That's where you find sympathy at, right between those two words. SH and that's it and syphilis. Because they don't have sympathy for anybody when they do what they do. What that guy that got let out of jail, he got arrested 72 times? The one that set that woman on fire? Because of sympathy? Here's another video from Trump. This woman trying to talk her way out of it. Donald Trump put this up. Apple lamps. They should resign. RNC Research. Alyssa Slotkin admits Democrats lied about President Trump issuing illegal orders to the military. ABC, do you believe President Trump issued any illegal orders? Slotkin, to my knowledge, I'm not aware of things that are illegal. Here she is right here. But then she qualifies it at the end. I think she digs her own hole with this statement. Wait a minute, where's the play button on this? I might have to use it. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait a second. I got to cut my mic off. Oh, my goodness.
Believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some, and everything related to Venezuela.
What kind of double talk is that, woman? Trump has declared we are in an armed conflict, formally declared and notified Congress that there are members of the military in harm's way, that we're dealing with an armed insurgency. He's declared a predatory incursion in this country. And you're saying he's playing legal gymnastics. You're undermining the President of the United States during a time of armed conflict. What happens when you do something like that? You get in trouble is what happens. And trouble's coming. Trouble is coming. Let's see, here's another one from Donald Trump. Come on, get on screen. Clicker won't work. Let me check chat, see what's going on. If I missed anybody. Who'd I miss? Roland, how you doing? Roland helped out last week with Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate it, Roland. Let's see. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. Jerry's here. Sedition, that's right. Your boy, Roy. Nice to see you. Yeah, that's why I said the seditious 6. There's 6 of these losers. I'm trying to find... Oh, where'd it go? Wait a minute. Oh, Melvita, how you doing? I hope is your son needs to find a job? Yeah, well, we'll definitely be pulling for him to find a job. But with all these people leaving the country, taking up other people's jobs, it'll up his chances, that's for sure. They got, who put that up? They showed where a bunch of them are so they can avoid the getting picked up by, here it is. Who put that up? There they are, working on a roof with a light. And people say, well, they're just working. Why are you throwing them out of the country? One of the first arrests Pam Bondi announced within 30 days of Trump taking office, maybe 60 days, was somebody who was charged with the M word as an herder, and then herder, right? Hanging drywall. Okay? So just because they got a job doesn't mean squat, all right? But Eric Dougherty said, breaking, Border Commander Greg Bovino confirms more nighttime federal immigration raids after citizens reported that illegal aliens shifted to working in the middle of the night for a lower chance of being caught. So yeah, they claim that there's a lot of construction sites pretty much shut down because they don't have anybody there. Here we go, Donald Trump again. What are we going on now? Tell us, boss. We're taking in trillions of dollars in tariffs and investment dollars from foreign lands because of tariffs. I have stopped 5 of the 8 wars directly because of the threat of tariffs. If they don't stop fighting, or better yet, if they start, there is almost no inflation. And the worst in USA history under Sleepy Joe Biden. The stock market just hit an all-time high for the 48th time in 9 months. To Leonard Leo, Koch, and all of the countries and slime balls that have ripped off the United States of America for years through the use of their own tariffs. We don't have a court system that's going to let you destroy our country any longer. This is the richest, strongest, and most respected the USA has ever been. November 5th and tariffs are the reason why. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT. Yeah, exactly right. We got that here. Right citizenship and tariffs. But I'm tapping on the side of my head with my knuckles. Knock on wood. I'm gonna go ahead and really knock on wood. Knock on wood. They keep coming through with good stuff for us. Trump again. Free Tina Peters. That's the second time in 3 days. Who sits in a Colorado prison, dying and old, for attempting to expose voter fraud in the rigged 2020 presidential election. You know, I would not have been able to say those words last year. And years before that, I would get my channel taken down. But I'm going to keep repeating it. In case there's anybody listening on the Trust and Safety for Your Chisel, this is the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States. Don't censor what he's saying. I'm repeating what he's saying. Don't censor me. They use the full force of 3-letter agencies to inhibit our free speech, our ability to hear the truth, and to obfuscate and participate in fraud against the American people. Once again, concern these people right he's talking about right here, these seditious 6, they're party to it. They're party. Everything that they're doing is designed to remove Trump, which is defrauding us out of our ability to run our own government, to choose our leaders. Many great legal scholars agree that the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion. I agree 1,000%. 1,001%. Maybe we'll see in the news they get picked up tomorrow. Or maybe they're getting picked up as we speak. Jim Moron. Can you believe this? This is the guy, Jim Moran is the guy that gave Donald Trump a hard way to go, isn't he? And he resigned from ABC. Is this the right Jim Moran? The guy that interviewed Trump and was snitty and snooty? I don't know if it's the same one or not. Maybe I got it wrong. He says, go get all those traitors, sons of B, for sedition at the very least. Those pompous traitors, communists, should be impeached and prosecuted. Maybe it's a different person. Now these are all reposted by Donald Trump. 18 U.S.C. 2387 is crystal clear. You don't get to tell the U.S. military to ignore the commander-in-chief. This is the one from Glenn Beck. Yep. Glenn Beck. This is the law Donald Trump is looking for. 18 U.S.C. 2387. This statute makes it a federal crime to do any of the following with the intent to advise, urge, or attempt to cause. Yeah, they were goading them. They're goading them. Insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty. Among members of the U.S. military, obstruct or attempt to obstruct recruiting, enlistment, or general military operations, distribute written materials, advocating any of the above. Oh, what about videos? This law does not require advocating the overthrow of government. That is 2385. Section 2387 is specifically about undermining the functioning of the U.S. military. Yeah, get into what their emails are and what their tweets and all that crap. I would dig it all up. Dig it all up. Let me see here. What's this? Oh, Andrew Branca again. Ah, yes. The single day, January 6th. And they keep putting descriptions. They might on my video, I don't know. Since I said that date, that describes it as Donald Trump sending violent people. This platform, they might not be walking on thin ice. They might be wading through frozen water right now, getting ready to walk off a cliff and be 4-hour unarmed act of, quote, sedition, ignited by Antifa and FBI agents, provocateurs, and the excessive force of Capitol Police, in which everyone went quietly home by dinner time and not a single person was ever charged with the crime of sedition. The horror. And he put this up because this little nitwit, it's all fuzzy. What do you see there? The scaffold. The scaffold. Scary Larry put up, sedition is a major crime, Donald Trump. And he put up a little video of people raising hell. Most of them operatives, okay, for either Antifa or BLM or Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, who, by the way, Trump is designating a terror group, Muslim Brotherhood. I should put that in the title. That's big news, right? Just ask John Kerry if it's big news, okay? All his family members. Just ask Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? And Valerie Jarrett and all the other people that rub elbows with the Muslim Brotherhood. So anyway, this jerk puts this picture up. There's a scaffold. I got a picture of that scaffold guy. I got a close-up of his face. I'll put it up next time. Huh? Does anybody who know who this man is? We found out who the J6 bomber was. Ain't it time we find out who the scaffold commander was? I got a video. I got my whole channel taken down because I did a video about him. I put a suspect on the screen. Let me see what this is. I have this backwards, I think. President Donald Trump just told the news on Sunday morning, just the news, that he will designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization, striking a blow against a group long blamed for destabilizing the Middle East and radicalizing young Muslims. Destabilizing the Middle East? Have you been to Minnesota? Have you talked to Ilhan Omar? I think they're doing more than destabilizing the Middle East. Texas Governor Greg Abbott last week designated the Muslim Brotherhood and the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, as being foreign terrorist organizations and transnational criminal organizations. CARE has denied the label and sued the Texas government. Yeah, good luck with that, because they're finding a bunch of money that's being funneled to you all. According to Politico, CARE says, oh, I think I chopped that off. Whoops, where'd it go? Oh, I don't know. Wherever I had it. Good luck suing, you creeps. What's this one? Oh, a meeting between a Russian delegation and the U.S. to discuss the proposed peace plan is also planned and will happen quickly. This is going on in Ukraine. An official said, but not in Geneva. Wait a minute. Yeah. They were talking about having a big meeting up in Geneva. Not in Geneva. The official declined to elaborate further on where or when that meeting would take place. I bet she's going to be in Hungary with Viktor Orban. Viktor Orban overseeing that. I got to find that one where he said it was, I think he said mafia or mob running Ukraine. Let me see what this is. Oh, this isn't about Ukraine. I want to get Ukraine out of the way, because that's going to happen fast. And there could be, well, you saw the threats from the enlisted people. Former Zelensky press secretary Yulia Mendel called to accept Trump's peace plan. This is a former press secretary. According to her, every new proposal for Ukraine will be even worse as the situation for the country on the battlefield is deteriorating, and the European Union has no real strategy. Well, that's what Putin said, or his representatives. So if we don't get what we want at the peace agreement, we'll just get more land, because we're moving, man. We're moving. U.S. Treasury Secretary. Europeans tell me, oh, we're adopting the 19th sanctions package. In my opinion, if you have to do something 19 times, you've failed. They're talking about sanctioning Russia again. Now, Trump said he would sanction Russia, but that's Trump. Okay, the European Union doesn't have the leverage Trump's got, the power Trump's got. They knows how to sanction. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen demanded that no territorial concessions or reductions in the number of Ukrainian armed forces be allowed. Firstly, borders cannot be changed by force. Secondly, there can be no limitations on the armed forces, the statement reads. Good luck with that. Tell that to Stalin, that you can't change borders by force. Tell that to Stalin. Tell that to Chair. Ursula von der Leyen. Trump's peace plan is limiting Ukrainian military to, I believe, 600,000. And nobody running around with swastikas. And anybody that's been doing it's got to go. That's why they were saying they were gonna have Ukrainian military in other countries, because they're going to get run out of there. Polish Prime Minister Tusk doubted the authorship of the Trump plan. Together with the leaders of Canada, Europe, Canada, and Japan, we declared our readiness to work on the 28-point plan, despite some reservations. However, before starting work, it would be good to know exactly who the author of the plan is and where it was created. Okay, you're looking for trouble, okay? And you'll probably get it. Tusk is probably hinting at the version circulating in the media that this plan was written by Russians. But this version has already been refuted by Secretary of State Rubio, who said the plan was prepared by Washington. Okay, so we got a little Polish psyop going on, trying to make Trump a puppet of Russia. Good luck with that. Ukrainian deputies report that NABU has prepared charges against the former Minister of Defense and the current head of the NSDC, I guess that's National Security, for Ukraine. I told you people were getting arrested. Now they prepared charges for this guy, whoever the hell he is. He's accused of embezzling funds that were subsequently transferred to countries of the Persian Gulf. Oh, can you say Muslim Brotherhood? Can you say Muslim Brotherhood? And he's the former Minister of Defense. How long's he been there? Was he there when Hunter Biden was there? Joe Biden? Mitt Romney's son? All that bunch? John McStain? We don't say his name. The U.S. may provide Kiev with Tomahawk missiles instead of deploying European troops in the country after the conflict is resolved, writes the Washington Post. So now we have that one report. Zelensky said, I will not give in, I will not yield. Well, now here we go again. Zelensky may never face a more agonizing choice. Umarov at negotiations in the USA agreed to the withdrawal of Ukrainian troops from Donbass and the reduction of the armed forces of Ukraine to 600,000 people. Later, this formed the basis of Trump's plan for Ukraine, writes Washington Post columnist David Ignatius. According to him, negotiations on the new plan began almost a month ago, led by Americans in consultation with Russian, European, and Ukrainian partners. Somebody tell the Polish guy, okay? The process peaked last weekend after a senior Turkish official informed Witkoff that Rustam Umarov was ready to meet him in Florida. According to American officials, at the meeting in Florida, Umarov stated that Zelensky might be ready to compromise on the crucial issue of exchanging territory in Donetsk for a peace agreement, as demanded by Russia. Umarov also said that Ukraine might agree to limit the size of its army to 600,000, Ignatius writes, citing officials. Recall that Umarov himself denied agreeing to any points of Trump's peace plan. At the same time, the White House claimed his direct involvement in preparing the plan. It was previously reported that Ukraine might have known about Trump's plan since the end of October. Well, I'll tell you, my first channel that got taken down, I put up that report when Ukraine first went to negotiate with Russia. One of their chief negotiators was executed right when he got back to Ukraine because he was talking about concessions, just discussing them. And they said he was a traitor. When he got off the plane, they offed him, right? One in the back of the head. So that was, 3 years ago? And my channel got taken down, but they did. That's what they did. So I guess this guy Umarov was probably like, no, I didn't agree to it. He's got to be careful because there are people in the military that are Nazis, and they're going to go after Zelensky. But anyway, Hamas informed the USA of its readiness to return to hostilities in the Gaza Strip. Oh, maybe that's got something to do with Trump declaring Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. According to Al Hadath TV channel, representatives of the movement told Trump's special envoy Witkoff and his son-in-law Kushner that the ceasefire agreement is effectively terminated as Israel systematically violates it. In a statement published on Hamas's Telegram channel, it is said that the Israeli army is trying to expand the controlled territory beyond the yellow line, to which the parties agreed to withdraw in the first stage of troop withdrawal. Earlier, the UN Security Council supported Trump's idea of creating a peace council to govern the Gaza Strip. So hopefully that won't fall apart. But I think with Trump making the Muslim Brotherhood a terror group, they know the implications of that. Okay? That's where they could wake up with a, they could wake up DEAD. Hi, Ulster boys, how you doing? Nice to see you. Who else we got? If I missed anybody, I apologize. Let's see. Key figures of the U.S. administration did not know about the plan for Ukraine until the last moment, Bloomberg reports. The plan was prepared with the participation of U.S. leader Special Envoy Witkoff and the Russian President's Special Representative Kirill Dmitriev. So it was played close to the vest, and Trump has laid it out there, and like he said, that's where they're being left with. Man, this will get off the screen. What's going on? Let's see. I want you off the screen. I got work to do. Oh. Well, give it a second. Oh, they're all going to pay, Ulster boys. Nobody walks away from this. Nobody. Can you guys hear me good? Because my screen's not responding. And that ain't that something when I sit here and talk about this stuff? You, Crizzle. Come on, it won't go. Anyway, I got a video for you. Look here. This is the Coast Guard in Greece. They got a boat full of refugees, and they ain't taking them anymore. So they're ramming their little boat. And people will go, there's children on board. I won't go through everything I just said about where children were in the past, okay? But here the Greek Coast Guard does not want these refugees, and they're ramming them with their boat.
You run that I'm ready to get the gun!
Very generous social programs over there in Greece. And like Trump said, they're coming for the gravy. They're coming for the gravy. Well, the gravy train is getting cut off. Here's the stuff about the Somalis. President Trump plans to terminate TPS for Somalians in Minnesota. Minnesota, under Governor Walsh. Remember, his administration is under heavy scrutiny, and there's people being charged left and right. Let's see what comes. Is he going to be the first governor to have some cuffs slapped on him? And we never heard what happened with that guy that went to the House of Representatives. Remember the assassin? And he said Tim Walsh put him up to it. We haven't heard nothing out of him. It's a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating the effective immediately the Temporary Protective Status TPS program for the Somalis in Minnesota. Isn't that the way Jesse Ventura you said? Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over. President DJT. Well, what did it? Some people did something. Some people, we want Sharia law. Sharia law. I'm a citizen, and so many are a majority of Somalis in America. Good luck celebrating a policy change that really doesn't have much impact on the Somalis you love to hate. We are here to stay. We'll see about that. You and that bug-eyed freak you endorsed that lost. Okay? Here is, wait a minute, let me see what this video is. Let me see. Somalian police officers. Where is this? I got the tag for it. Minnesota Sheriff Deputy. We came to this country as refugees. Now that we're hired, we work for our own people, Somalians. Okay. Tom Homan, let's get his rear end on a plane and get him the hell out of here. But here he is in his own words.
markaan haddaan askarnahay Soomaaliyeed ininkaayni shaqeynaa habeenii maalmo ininkaayni taaganahay ma fahanteen horta sida ogtihiin ba wadankan anaga qaxootiyan nimaadnay askar Soomaaliya ma jirin marka hadda anaga markiina la haygareeyay waxay noqotay inaan dadkeena u shaqeyno dadkii dhaqankii ma fahmeynaa luqadii ma fahmeynaa culture-kii ma fahmeynaa marka qofka kale ma taqaana ajnabiga abadaanka iyo anaga waa kala duwanahay because qofkii gaabkii waxa we build that bridge kaas ma fahantay marka insha Allah waa mahadsantiin again ogaada askari kasta oo Soomaaliya dalka iyo dawladaba ininku inii shaqeeyaa habeenkii marka hurudaan iyo marka ma taqaana achieftaanba ininka inii taaganahay.
Yeah, whatever. You know, they could put one wife in a HUD house with the however many kids they had with that one wife. Get their food stamps, get housing. You can even make your kid blind so you get more money. You can fake autism. That's another story. I might have put that up on another night. But they've been faking autism to get increased welfare checks. And then he puts another wife in another apartment. How many do they get? I think they get like 4. I'm not kidding. And me no have no husband. Me no have my husband. He not here. He not me alone. Me hungry. Baby hungry. And yeah, they got the whole harem in different HUD. Well, any of them doing that kind of crap, stealing money, availing themselves of public services they're not entitled to, any kind of crime. I don't care if they spit a piece of gum on the sidewalk. I don't care. Get rid of them. Revoke their green cards if they have them, and get rid of them. But here's what Dopey Eric Swalwell wants to do. This is a quick video. Guess how he wants people to vote? Oh, don't mess around with mail-in. Why bother with stamps? You can vote by phone, according to Swalwell. That's what we should be able to do. Won't that be honest?
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian
vote by phone.
Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online, you should be able to vote by phone.
Yeah, you should be in handcuffs. Well, I got another video I was going to play on that. Wow, I still got a lot of stuff from Trump. There just ain't enough time in a day, is it? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Trump posted this. Bucking up the troops, right? Reminding everybody about Obamacare. If we don't get rid of that filibuster, we're going to be in big trouble. Let's see if anybody jumped in. Well, four wives, 5 children each. Is that what it is, Kim? My God. Yeah, it works good for them because, hi, Felix. Yeah, you get one of them gets mad at you, just jump over to the other one's house. Okay, just carry a little rag bag, and Mama 1 gets mad, go to Mama 3. Mama 3 gets mad, got it made. So I'm just, if you were inclined to that lifestyle, not me. But anyway, folks, enjoy this video of Donald J. Trump. I want to thank Mike and Bev, Gary, and Wayne for helping out this week with Buy Me a Coffee. It's a big help. I have a link in the description if anybody wants to help out. So anyway, folks, enjoy this clip tomorrow night. All right? Hopefully, if everything goes right. So anyway, if you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live. All right, folks. You all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon.
Going to go down. It went the exact opposite with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. Their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance, and you'll negotiate different plans, and you'll get much better insurance, and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself. So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with health care. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. We're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape.